What is going on? Back again with another video. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the standings once again. Now, it's been quite some time since we looked at these standings, and obviously when I looked at them, not a whole lot has happened, but obviously as of recent, a ton of stuff has happened. And we do have some changes to the playoff picture, and we're going to start with this AL and break everything down. So our playoff picture right now is Seattle actually has taken over the West. Now, we did say that this is probably likely to happen over time, that they would catch up to the Astros, and they definitely have done that. They are currently ahead of the Astros by 1 game as it stands right now, so definitely likely for them to stay there, and they're on a 9-game winning streak when I'm recording this video, so absolutely impressive. They just went on a crazy win streak to beat a lot of teams, so very solid job from Seattle, absolutely phenomenal job. We'll see if they can keep it up. They play Kansas City next. That's definitely a winnable series for them. And then we still have the Blue Jays and Tigers still showing up here. Once again, I still think these teams will get the bye. I mean, we'll see what happens with Seattle's winning streak, but I think these teams should both get the bye. Both are still playing really good baseball. Blue Jays on a 4-game winning streak when I'm recording this video. The Tigers on a 1, so nothing too crazy. So yeah, I expect the Blue Jays, Tigers to get buys, and then we'll see if Seattle can hang on. It's looking like they're going to be able to hang on as it stands right now. Like I said, the Blue Jays are 7-3 in their last 10, which is very solid. The Tigers are 5-5 in their last 10, so also pretty okay. That's our AL division leaders as it stands right now, with Toronto with the 1st seed, the Tigers with the 2nd seed, and the Mariners with the 3rd seed. But let's move on to this AL wild card. We still have the Yankees, Red Sox, and Astros holding these last 3 spots for the postseason, and it's really close between these teams. I mean, Yankees, Red Sox, and Astros are all 1 game apart, which is pretty crazy to think about when I'm recording this video. Obviously, the Rangers, Guardians are still 2.5 games back at this point. Those are the only 2 teams that really have a shot to even get in the postseason. You know, the Royals, Rays had a shot, but they just fallen way too far. They've been on a lot of losing streaks, haven't been playing the best baseball either. I will say Cleveland is 9-1 in their last 10, currently on a 4-game winning streak, and they have to play Detroit next, so it could be possible that they could get in if they do sweep Detroit. Same with the Rangers. They are 7-3 in their last 10. They've been playing some pretty good baseball. Obviously, after sweeping the Brewers, they looked really solid. Playing the Astros this week, so gonna be a tough series, but if they get a sweep, man, they could definitely get into the postseason. So we'll wait to see on those 2 teams outside, but the teams in looked very solid. I think the Yankees and Red Sox will get in my opinion. These teams have looked really good. Obviously, they did just play each other, and the Yankees did win that series. So it's looking pretty good if you're a Yankee fan right now. You know, you probably will get that home team advantage, it looks like, if you continue to play well. We'll see how the Red Sox bounce back. Yankees got the Twins this week, so it should be pretty solid for them. The Red Sox play the A's, so a little bit harder of an opponent. The A's have been pretty solid in that second half compared to their actual full records, so I'm expecting them to be pretty good and pretty competitive. And the Astros once again have fallen off a little bit. Obviously, they're playing the Rangers right now, really key series for them to win. They're 4-6 in their last 10. They haven't played as good as Seattle has, but they had the lead for most of the season as well, so it's a little surprising to kind of see them fall off, just because the last time Seattle I think was in the division lead was I think in May. They had like 33 wins and was winning the division, and the Astros took it from them. We'll wait and see, but it's definitely likely, you know, that the Astros could be in the wild card for once, or at least a wild card team for once, being the 6th seed. So we'll see. We got 8 teams still battling for this AL wild card. My personal prediction, I definitely think the Blue Jays and Tigers get in. I definitely think Seattle gets in. I really do think that team's gonna get in. And I think Seattle can win that division. I think that team is really good, and they don't play too hard of opponents, I don't think. So I definitely see them getting in. I think the Yankees, Red Sox will get in. I think they'll be the 4th and 5th seed. I don't see them catching up to the Blue Jays, to be honest. I think they're gonna stay right there. And I do think the Astros will get that 6th seed. For me, the Rangers and Guardians, I feel like the Rangers just need like 1 big hitter at the deadline, and they would have been significantly better, or they would have won a lot more games. And for Cleveland, they do play, I think, a couple of tough opponents coming up, so it might be kind of hard for them to get that lead back. And they also went on a pretty bad losing streak in August as well, so that didn't help them at all. But we still have 8 teams competing for these spots. I think the current 6 is going to be in right now. It's really just a debate to see if Seattle holds on to that division at this point. I do think the Astros will get in. I think they will win at least 1 game off Texas, which is all they need to do to keep that wild card spot. But we'll wait and see. I think these 6 teams are probably confirmed at this point for the American League, but we'll wait and see. We got 2 weeks left of this season, so we'll wait and see. Now moving over on to the NL, this is pretty locked over here. I want to say this is the most stable, you know, side of the bracket that we've seen. The only really change we're going to have is the Dodgers and Padres switching. The Padres are currently 2 out of that division compared to the Dodgers, but as you guys can see, the Brewers and Phillies have clinched the postseason already, so shout out to those 2 teams. I do think those 2 teams will get the bye as well. By far the best teams in this National League. I mean, the Dodgers, you know, I don't know, they've looked okay. They've just struggled in that bullpen so much that I just don't think they can be trusted, to be honest. But the Brewers have been playing pretty solid baseball. They're 5-5 in their last 10, so they've been playing pretty okay. The Phillies are 8-2 in their last 10, playing extremely well baseball, and the Dodgers in that 3rd seed are 6-4 in their last 10. So definitely 3 solid teams right here. I just think the Brewers and Phillies will probably get that bye, to be honest, and the Dodgers will be the 3rd seed. And then moving over on to the NL wild card, it's pretty interesting with the Cubs, Padres, and Mets right here. Now this is how it stood for quite some time, except for like 2 days ago the Giants took the spot, but they ended up losing to the Dodgers, so they haven't really been able to get that spot back, unfortunately. But I think it's probably going to end like this. Once again, the only switch would be the Dodgers and Padres switching, but I think the Padres will probably be a wildcard team if I had to guess. And it actually makes a pretty interesting bracket as well in the NL, because the Dodgers would play the Mets and then the Cubs would play the Padres, so I feel like we get some new series we haven't seen yet. You know, the Mets Dodgers in a 3-game series is way different than they played last year in the 7-game series, so that could definitely turn some heads. The Cubs Padres I feel like we have not seen in quite some time, or maybe even at all in the postseason. I don't know, I feel like it's been a while since the Cubs have also been in with the Padres, because I feel like the teams haven't been good together. They've been good in their own separate eras, so I think that'd be a really interesting series, especially in Chicago. Obviously I hope my boys come through, but definitely gonna be a good one. 3 teams out, we have the Giants, Diamondbacks, and Reds. These are the 3 teams out. The Reds looked really solid for most of the season. They were only like a game out of the Mets for quite some time. They've fallen off with the recent sweep they've been going through. They're 4-6 in their last 10. I don't think the Reds get that spot, to be honest. It's going to be one of the other 2 teams, being the Giants or Diamondbacks, and these teams actually play each other this week, so that's going to be a massive series for this postseason picture, especially because the Mets play San Diego. So if San Diego gets another sweep and then one of these teams sweep the other one, we could see a big change happen. Obviously, both these teams are battling for that spot, so it's going to be interesting to see who kind of comes out. And obviously, whoever gets that 6th seed will most likely play the Dodgers or the Padres, depending on who wins that division. So it's going to be pretty exciting. So that's currently how the NL looks right now. I think it's definitely a very solid group of teams. I definitely think the 6th seed is going to be the weakest team for sure. The 5 other teams have just been so dominant this season that I don't think it's going to matter. We have seen crazier stuff, though, don't get me wrong. Also, here is the postseason bracket would look if the season started today. We obviously have 2 weeks left before the postseason starts, but here's what we're currently looking at. The only teams confirmed to be in this bracket are the Brewers and Phillies. As of right now, these are the only 2 teams that have clinched the postseason. We'll obviously see more in the days to come, but it's actually a really interesting bracket, and it's really cool because let's start with this NL. Obviously, it's the first time in a while I think the Brewers have gotten a bye into the division series, so hopefully they do something. They made the postseason 7 out of their 8 years, and they've always got knocked out in the wild card, so maybe in a best of 5 they can do a little bit better. Same with the Phillies. I mean, they've gotten the bye before, and they've also got destroyed before in that position, so we'll see what happens over there. I think the Dodgers Mets in 3 series is actually going to be an electric series in my opinion. And I like the Cubs Padres here. I think that one could be really interesting as well. And obviously in the American League, Toronto getting that bye I think is very good for them. I think that might have been a surprise from, you know, starting the season, kind of where that team is at compared to the Yankees and Red Sox, but it's a whole AL East side of the bracket. Obviously Yankees, Red Sox, it's going to be an electric series in a best of 3. Let's just be honest, they're going to be promoting that series like crazy. But I do like the Seattle Houston series, right? Those are 2 teams that have been battling for quite some time, especially. So I think it's definitely going to be a good one. And once again, we'll see if Seattle can make a World Series. They're the only team in the league that has never made a World Series. So we'll see if it happens. The Tigers being the number 2 seed, I think is very well deserved. I still think last year they were one of the best American League teams. If they were able to beat Guardians last year in that DS, I really want to see how they would have done against the Yankees. So maybe we'll see that this year with the rematch, but I really like this bracket we have moving forward. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comment section down below, what are you guys' thoughts on the postseason with 2 weeks to go? Do you guys like the bracket? Do you think there will be any changes to it? Definitely let me know down below in the comments. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everyone.